Welcome to Ancient Wisdom for Modern Work. In the hustle of profit, product, and productivity, it's easy to neglect the how, our ethics, our conduct, and our internal state of being. But what if the secret to sustainable success wasn't found in the latest management trend, but in wisdom that's existed for thousands of years? The host of this podcast, Kimberly Killer, is here to explore the ancient concepts of yamas and niyamas as a powerful framework for modern leadership. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Hello, and welcome to Ancient Wisdom for Modern Work, a podcast designed to help you apply proven lessons from the yogi masters of yesteryear to the work we do today. I am your host and guide, Kimberly Kaler, and it's my great pleasure to share my insight on how to meld mindfulness into our work world, however you define work, as a teacher, a corporate executive, or community volunteer. Today's topic is Aparigraha, leadership beyond control. Leaders are often measured by what they accumulate: market share, head count, revenue, number of members your association has, even power. The relentless drive to acquire more is not just encouraged, it is frequently seen as the very definition of success. But what if the most powerful move a leader could make is not to grasp, but to let go? This is the central lesson of Aparigraha, the fifth and final yama, which translates to non-attachment, non-possessiveness, or non-greed. Aparigraha challenges us to examine our relationship with outcomes, control, and possessions. It asks us to hold our strategies, our expectations, and even our successes with an open hand. For a leader, this isn't about apathy or a lack of ambition. It's about a profound shift from a mindset of scarcity and control to one of trust, agility, and sustainable purpose. Practicing Aparigraha frees us from the anxiety of clinging and opens us up to greater wisdom and resilience. Let's talk a little bit about the tyranny of attachment in business. In the corporate world, attachment manifests in numerous ways, often disguised as prudence or ambition. We become attached to a specific strategic plan, a favorite employee, a particular way of doing things, or a desired quarterly result. This clinging, while seemingly natural, creates significant rigidity and suffering within an organization. When leaders are attached to a specific outcome, they can become blind to changing market realities. Think of Kodak, a company so attached to its identity as a film-based business that it failed to embrace the digital revolution it helped invent. Their attachment to a past success story led to their eventual irrelevance. Aparigraha would have encouraged them to see themselves not as a film company, but as a company that helps people preserve memories, thereby opening the door to innovation. Attachment to control is equally damaging. The micromanaging leader, unable to trust their team, creates bottlenecks and stifles creativity. Their need to have a hand in every decision stems from a fear that if they let go, things will fall apart. This possessiveness over process robs employees of their autonomy and ownership, leading to disengagement. What should we stop doing then? Well, perhaps the most potent question a leader can ask, inspired by Aparigraha, is what should we stop doing? We are conditioned to think in terms of addition, new initiatives, new products, new hires. Aparigraha invites us to consider the power of subtraction. Are we clinging to a legacy product line that drains resources and no longer serves our core mission? Are we holding onto bureaucratic processes that slow everyone down simply because it's how we've always done it? Are we possessive of certain belief about our customer that is no longer true, or about the members that are part of our association or our religious institution? Letting go is an act of strategic clarity. It frees up capital, energy, and focus to be redeployed toward what truly matters. It's a declaration that we are more committed to our future vision than we are to our past habits. This practice requires courage, as it often involves admitting that something we once championed is no longer working. The art of listening without predetermining. Aparigraha transforms how we listen. When we are attached to our own opinions and ideas, we don't truly hear what others are saying. Instead, we listened with the intent to refute, to find flaws in their argument, or to steer the conversation back to our own agenda. Our minds are already full, so there's no space for new information to enter. A leader practicing Aparigraha listens with an empty mind. They approach conversations with genuine curiosity, willing to have their perspective changed. They are not attached to being the smartest person in the room. This creates an environment where team members feel safe to voice dissenting opinions, share nascent ideas, and tell the truth. By letting go of the needs to be right, a leader gains access to the collective intelligence of their entire team. The best ideas can surface regardless of where they originate. This is the essence of moving from a knowing mindset to a learning mindset. So, what are some actionable tips for practicing this last yama, aparigraha? Integrating non-attachment into your leadership is a practice of mindful release. It involves noticing where you are clinging and consciously choosing to loosen your grip. Number 1, conduct a stop doing meeting. Dedicate a team meeting not to brainstorming new ideas, but identifying what to eliminate. Ask your team what processes are slowing you down the most, which reoccurring meeting provides the least value. Is there a project we're pursuing out of habit rather than strategic importance? And many, many more questions I'm sure will surface as the conversation starts. Create a stop doing list and celebrate the act of decluttering the organization. This creates bandwidth and signals that efficiency and focus are valued. Number 2, practice generous delegation. Identify a significant responsibility you're currently holding on to tightly. Now, delegate it completely to a capable team member. This means letting go not just of the task, but of the outcome. Provide them with the resources and support they need, but resist the urge to dictate the how. Trust them to succeed or fail and learn on their own terms. This builds their capability and your own capacity to lead. Number 3, embrace what do you know. In your next one-on-one, shift from telling to asking. Instead of providing solutions, practice asking powerful, open-ended questions like, what do you know about this situation that I don't? What is your perspective on the best path forward? If you had complete control, what would you do? This practice demonstrates a letting go of control and a deep respect for the wisdom of your team. It fosters ownership and develops critical thinking skills. Number 4, reframe your relationship with goals. Set clear goals, but hold them lightly. Be fiercely committed to the mission, but flexible on the method. When you miss a target, Aparigraha encourages you to approach the situation with curiosity rather than blame. What did we learn from this? What does this outcome now make possible? By detaching from a rigid definition of success, you open the door to adaptation and resilience. And then finally, number 5, mindful resource management. Applying Aparigraha to your company's physical and financial resources is key. Before making a new purchase or investment, ask, is it truly necessary or is it driven by a desire for more? Encourage a culture of mindful consumption where resources are used responsibly and waste is minimized. This is not just cost cutting. It's about building a sustainable organization that respects its impact on the world. There is great freedom in letting go. Leading with Aparigraha is liberating. It frees you from the constant pressure of needing to control everything and be right about everything. It allows you to trust in your team, in the process, and in your organization's ability to adapt to an ever-changing world. When we let go of our attachment to specific outcomes, we paradoxically increase our chances of achieving our ultimate purpose. We become more agile, more innovative, and more attuned to reality. By releasing our grip on power, praise, and possessions, we create the space for something far more valuable to emerge, a resilient, purpose-driven organization where people can do their best work with a sense of trust and with freedom.
Thank you so much for listening to Ancient Wisdom for Modern Work, a podcast designed to meld mindfulness into the work we do. We invite you to subscribe as well as visit wisdomfortheworkwedo.com for additional resources. Until next time, we invite you to consider how you can apply the wisdom yogi masters of yesteryear to the work we do today, with integrity, clarity, and compassion.